Hey, I hope you're all doing fine during this pandemic. I wanted to speak something on the George Floyd issue. We as millennial dominant human beings have been going through a lot of stress, pressure, and suppression. But most of what you see on the media, on the cases, is just made up race bait. It's made up race bait and has nothing to do with seeking equality. The Black Lives Matter movement, if you go and do your diligent research and look up who funds them, you find that it's George Soros. They did the same thing in 2016 and have been doing the same thing. Movements like that of Malcolm X, who was an FBI agent, Martin Luther, who was also related to the same people that do carry out these issues and so-called matter as heroes of the black community, who have been coming up and dying while really achieving nothing. Not that I'm to blame them. Most of us are not aware of the tactics of deception used by the so-called powers that be, the powers that won't be anymore. Most of what we're told about George Floyd is just media propaganda. As many of you might have also noticed that he was a Freemason, and there was a lot of Freemason symbolism breaks. If you check out his profile, it's all written in codes. That's why I'm starting with one of the earliest people who started to deceive us, Marcus Garvey. People like those who are Freemasons, they were acting like they were helping black people. By the end of the day, they really did nothing for them. While black people honestly thought that they get a savior. They always try to recreate this Christ savior-like person to emerge by their own design and make it seem like they're helping black people. Then they take him off the scene. The world is a stage run by Freemasons. Everything is a ritual. Racism, for the most part, that we see on the media is just race bait by the media. And you know who controls and owns the media. What are they planning to achieve with this so-called revolution, which really should be about evolution? I don't believe in revolution, since we have been having so many revolutions with nothing changing. You can revolt, change the person who is in power, replace him with another person with the same mentality. What we need, because our leaders do reflect what's in our heart and what's in our mind, we should aim for evolution. If we had better quality of human beings with greater thoughts that bring positivity, things like that, and hearts that's willing to love, true definition of love, then sure our environment will reflect the same thing. So that's why I don't believe in revolution. I believe in better quality human beings, and every human being has a potential to do that. All we are seeing on the news, that's anarchy, and they will use it as an excuse for martial law. As we'll also start to see that they will start saying there's a second wave of COVID-19, where they finally started reopening things, which is just a big deception. There's a lot of things that's going on, a big play, and a lot of things that's changing around our world today that many may not seem to understand. And those that have been terrorizing the world are trying all the best they can to maintain their authority or try to clean up their mess, because they'll soon be paying this, if not in our lifetime, but in our children's lifetime. But in the way it looks like many of us will be seeing this, most of us who are in our 20s, most of us will be seeing what's happening with our own eyes. There will be a lot of changes. Like you've seen how such a small case like COVID-19 really did to the economy of many places, among many people. which many never thought would be, or many never thought it can be possible. And I can say this has been an eye-opener to many people, at least those who still have their minds. Many of them have begun to question the authority, which is good. But like I've said, our aim should be for evolution, not revolution. So what do they achieve with this George Floyd protest? The same they have been achieving with the Black Lives Movement. The same they have been achieving with KKK. Divisive mechanism. Harvesting energy of people, inciting anger and hate. That's all they've been doing so far. And we've been falling victims over and over, years and years. Like I said, it not start now. People like as far back as Marcus Garvey, our so-called independent heroes, so-called presidents of Africa, and many leaders of the black community. That's why you find they try to make like leaders of the black community to be singers, rappers, things like that. Like the case of Malcolm X, just to plant a seed so that you can see how they work. Anybody that lives in New York, let's say that he really tries to fight for his people, do you think he'll have a platform in CBS, BBC, or all of those people? Do you think they'll give them a platform? No, they will not give him a platform to do anything. They won't allow it. They only give their puppets a platform because they have an agenda. You'll never see real heroes on TV. You'll never read real heroes in history. All you do get is puppets. So they create this fictional world around you. You believe in reality which they want you to see. We need to change this. We need to change all this. And we won't change anything by miracles. We won't be able to change anything with miracles like people been expecting for the decades, especially the black people. See how many Christians are in Africa. Even though Christianity started with us in Africa, we are practicing the wrong Christianity. And Christianity was not dominant in our cultures. We had strong, powerful cultures, but now we are the most. There are many Christians in Africa than in any other place. Which is funny. How can that be? Because we are being brainwashed. During the time of colonialism, when you do your diligent research and look up things, you'll find that when you hear about this tribe rebelling, fighting the British, they really never fought with the British. They fought with other black men that were helping the British. And that's why we're defeated. Or whatever colonial power that was there. So, you should really try to see more than what's on the surface. Try to understand things by knowing why, how did it begin, what was the agenda, so far what have we achieved, how can he be able to do such things like that. They'll give it to you. Not that without everyone, but people who generally want to help you in our present world, they will not be given platform by the same people oppressing them. No, they want you to remember them. And with this said,